Good morning. It's Gina. I'm outside. Wow, can you hear the planes again today? We live kind of on the outskirts of a pattern for our local airport. Usually we hear them around 10 in the morning, but there's a plane going somewhere today. Anyways, today's weigh-in day. I did weigh in, and my first week on 10 fruits and veggies. I will tell you that on the days that I made myself eat 10 fruits and veggies a day, I had really, really good outcomes. That's a lot of food. But I slacked off over the weekend. Yesterday I didn't get enough veggies in, and I only had 1 ounce loss. For most of the days, I saw at least a 1 pound loss every day. There was one day in the middle, I think it was Wednesday, I made pineapple chicken fried rice. Pineapple chicken fried rice is what I technically called it. I'm gonna have to really rethink that recipe. I only had white instant rice, but I hadn't been adding. You really have the morning Gina. I did put a jacket on because I got my jams on, but I'm outside in my garden. But I gained that day. Like the next morning I got up, I felt like, I don't know exactly, I should have brought it out here. Feel like I lost all of my progress, and it was only Wednesday, so I started on Monday. I started my week out at 234 point. I better go get it. Dang it, hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna show you. This is week 1. Start at 234.3. The next day I was down 2.3, and then the next day 1, and the next day 1. Or I guess I made it on the Wednesday, and on Thursday was my cray. I gained back up to 233.5, which made me have less than 1 pound of a loss. I can't eat white rice, and it's not on the purple plan anyways, but it was all that I had, and I needed to get my fruits in. And we had been being instructed, get them in any way you can. Well, that does not mean going off plan to get them in any way you can, because while I made 1.5 cups of rice for the both of us, and there's still half of the meal in the refrigerator because neither one of us want to touch it because we both gained. So let's just go by those measurements. I made 1.5 cups of rice. Everything else in the dish was 0. We both ate it. He did not eat seconds. I did not eat seconds. So it's a pretty fair assessment. Well, he had a little bit more than I did, but pretty fair assessment that we ate 1/4 of it. So 1/4 of 1.5 cups of rice is what I ate. But other than that, I had a really great day that day. 2 of those pounds came off, or right near 2 of those pounds came off pretty quickly. And I ultimately ended the week at 231.7. They're in the green, 231.7. I'll take it. We had a live yesterday over at Kat's channel, because she's the one putting on the challenge. That's Cat on Point. I don't know that anybody else besides me shared their weight loss, and I waited till the very end to share it because I didn't want to discourage anyone, or if they had gained. Oh, I do know that Kat's husband had a gain. They didn't say how much. They're not all about that. They're about health and wellness, and how your body responds to situations. That's what I've always gleaned from her, is really good, solid information. I mean, throughout the week she would tell us, okay, you're going to be really gassy, you could possibly be feeling this, be feeling that. So she really stayed on board and shared with us things that were happening to their bodies during this week. And I stayed pretty much in contact with her too, letting her know kind of how I was doing. I got a new Yeti yesterday. Honey went to Ace Hardware because he broke that water thing in the... Oh, if I haven't shared that yet, this is a good segue into that. I'll share that right here. So I've stripped out everything out of this container, with the exception of what was hanging over the edge. I gotta get it set somewhere straight because it's leaning pretty severely. Took all the dead out of it. Got a few cuttings right here. I'm gonna replant them today. I'm going to take out this dead, really pretty blooming bush, but we're pretty sure it didn't make it over the winter. And it literally wants to kill you. So we're going to take that out. Pretty much emptied out my shelf, and I've got to get all of it replanted with pretties. I bought some petunias. What? Out front? So my, what is that called? Japanese maple grew out the bottom of its pot into the ground. Rooted into the ground. We had to move it. So now Honey's trying to get it out of this pot. It's proving a little harder than we thought it was going to be. It's been in this pot since it was a baby. Looks like we're getting it. Totally root bound. It's going to have to be aerated for sure. I took everything out of the flower bed. We've moved the grill over here. Took everything out over there. Cleaned all this up. So, of course, I haven't done my shelf yet. And I'll get new pots and stuff there. We're going to have to reinvest and reinvent this thing, because what was in this heart-shaped pot that was my mother's, who's been gone since 2002, has grown into this vacant pot and rooted. It just searched for something to root. So we're going to clean this out, fill it up, I guess leave it there and repot something else because it's so pretty. Look how big they are. But everything just needed a good cleaning. I will probably move these, this one and this one, into a pot. Maybe even one or two of those. I'm not sure. I think I'm really liking the grill here. I'm going to have to get it really good and cleaned up. It's always been on the patio, and we have a very tiny patio, and it just took up so much space. It never fit, and we don't even have our covering out yet this year. These are the pots that I'm working on today. Putting all my soil into this pot, and I'm going to put succulents in this one. These succulents that I've already dug up are going to go in here. So we're going to get rid of these pots. I don't know that there's really anything wrong with this one, but they're leaving. I'm going to paint that one white and do something. I think I'm going to put my petunias in that one. I need to put a little bit of bleach in my fountain, but I'm afraid for the birds, so I can't. But it needs a good scrubbing at least and washed out. Huh?
Garage isn't open, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's where he's at.
Okay. I'll go close it.
Look at that.
Oh, and I'm filming. Can we see them? I don't know. I can't see them. I don't know where they are. I don't even know that we got to see them because I don't know where I'm filming. Honey broke a sprinkler piping underneath the ground as we were moving the tree yesterday. So we went ahead and left the edge on the tree to disturb it the least, but the bottom is all cut out of it, and we're replanting it in the ground up above, but I'll have room to have annuals around it. Goopy, what am doing? What are you so dirty about? You've been eating dirt.
I'm helping Daddy.
Look, helping a daddy? Look how dirty your face is. Oh, mama baby. Oh, mama baby. Yes, I'm all dirty. Him wore out. Him wore out, guys. Him wore out. So the tree's in. I now have a flower bed. Of course, the grass is gone. We'll have to redo that. Fix the sprinkler. I won't move the shovel. Barking orders from his bark-a-lounger. I'm just kidding. And here's my tree that we moved. It literally goes from house to fence pretty much. And it was just bunched up in that little area before. Now it just seems like it's just got all kinds of room. So in this little side yard, it's just gonna be real pretty and shady now. Now this isn't my yard. I have to leave it here now. I've nurtured that Japanese maple from just a baby little tree. And it upsets me that I have to leave it, but we've had 8 or 9 really good years here at this house, and so that's what I'm leaving here with it. But yeah, he broke that pipe, and it really just kind of changed the temperature of the day, because he had to go into workman mode, not enjoy your garden mode. And I ultimately ended up going in the house. And the reason for that was one of the things that I've been experiencing this past week. I've been very emotional a couple of days. Other days just normal and fine. Like, he walked in with this Yeti yesterday and I cried, which is so goofy for no apparent reason other than sweetness. I can't explain it. I don't know why. And he bought me a pair of gloves. Oh, I'll insert that little segue right here. Tom was so sweet. He went to the Ace Hardware. He came back with me a new pair of gloves. Anything look wrong about them gloves? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to Ace and exchange the 2 right-handed glove set. I don't know many people who have 2 right hands that are small and tiny like me. And he said, I saw these gloves. They were so tiny. They looked like they might work for your little bitty hand. And I was like, I love them, but I don't have 2 right hands. He was like, what? Dadgummit. He was like, that was funny. Okay, so this is another thing I found. I made my cup of coffee. I still use normal sugar. You know that I don't do artificial sweeteners. There's too much sugar in my coffees. Every day it's getting less and less, and I don't know that it's that I've completely removed myself from artificial, anythings, and ate all organic, natural, other than I bought two plums that I wanted a really good ripe plum. It wasn't organic, and it was a waste of my money. They were $1.69 a pound at the grocery store when I went the other day. And now I didn't do a grocery haul because I don't know how well you guys like the grocery hauls. You let me know if you prefer that I share the grocery hauls or not. But it had no flavor and it was mushy. I bought him organic plums and they were amazing. Firm, tart, yummy, yummalicious. We prefer our fruit slightly al dente, if you will. Not really mushy, overripe, which you can get really easily here in the valley because, we live in Farmville, which that's not the name of my city. It's just the area I live in. A farm on every corner. My kid has 30 acres of, I think he has corn in there right now. Might be soybeans. I'm not sure what he has. I think it's corn. And one of my cousins has 20 or 40 acres of almonds. Almonds. I don't even call them almonds. Almonds. I think he calls them almonds, so I think that might be why I said that. Our biggest yard was 2 acres, 2.5 acres, 4.5 acres. I don't remember what it was, to be honest now. 4.5 acres, I think. We had 17 fruit trees, but we didn't have a farm. We lived in a little town, the town that I work in now. Worked in the whole time I lived there. But it wasn't a farm. It was just 2 lots. Our house was on one of the lots. We had a lot that we were going to build on next to it. We ultimately ended up getting rid of all of it. Drew grew up, got married. Well, he didn't even get married. He grew up and bought a house with the intention of marrying. And then we sold and moved in with him for 8 months. I couldn't take where he lived. Beautiful little gated subdivision. So tight. So far away from everyone and everything. It would have took you 25 minutes to get to McDonald's. I have to have my iced tea. And I got iced teas every day from McDonald's. Not even doing that. I don't know. This little situation we found ourselves in has changed my entire eating habits. And now that I've started the whole fruits and veggies, which I need to get in the Instant Pot, I'm going to cook all the vegetables I have left in my Instant Pot today. I'll finish that sentence and go on to, I have spent... Honey went in preparation for this week, so it was prior to the 1st. I think it was like the couple days before or the day before. He spent... I feel like he spent like $110 on groceries. I spent $129 on groceries since then. And we've gone to Costco and spent right around $380, I think it was. Now that wasn't on food. It was a little bit of food for him, his staples that he likes to have in the freezer. Breakfasty type stuff, but no fruits or vegetables. That was a new, it was probably for this, it was a new food processor, which I've been really enjoying. It was new work pants for him. I got a couple of 2 new jackets. This is not one of them. This is an Old Faithful coffee creamer. Always buy coffee creamer when we go because it's cheaper there. Seriously, I do not have any idea what we spent $300 on. Food processor was $100. I got a KitchenAid food processor. Pants were $60, so that was $160. Then we got heartburn pills. That was $25. So there you're right at $200 pretty much with tax and everything right there. Honestly, I don't know what we spent the other $200 on. Oh, I do too. My little grandbaby, Lyric, is going to be 3 in a couple of weeks. We bought her a couple of birthday presents. Cute little outfit. And a little pillow. Okay, you tell me. You're my friends. You tell me. Be honest. If you think she's too young and this is not the truth, this is not what's happening, you're overthinking things, Gina. Or, yep, that's what it is. Okay. I made my little Carter, my first grandbaby, a quilt. This was before I went blind. I have the product to make Lyric a quilt, but I haven't done it. When they come over and stay with Grammy, Carter always says, Grammy, I want my quilt. Well, when Lyric got old enough to articulate what she was thinking, she's like, she would go hunting before for it, and I would just give her her dad's quilt or my dad, or Tom's quilt. I still have those baby quilts. But I would say, Grammy just hasn't had a chance to get your quilt made yet. So she knows that she's using them, but they're not hers. She's only going to be 3. Is she smart enough? She said it for her birthday last year, for Christmas, and for her birthday this year. She's already requested a pillow. She wants a pillow. She asks me this all 3 times. 2nd birthday, 2nd Christmas, 3rd birthday. All of those times, someone has got her a pillow. I did go ahead and buy her a My Buddy pillow again because she's asking for pillows. She could have a fetish with pillows, or if she not understand what I'm saying, you know, what she's saying, a pillow versus a blanket, and I'm not hearing her and she's asking for me to make her her own quilt, or am I overthinking things? You tell me. I don't know. I feel like I'm correct. I asked Tom yesterday, and he seemed to think that I was overthinking things. She's 3 years old. She's not asking for you to make her a quilt. But then he finally said, well, I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm asking you. Is she asking for a quilt or a pillow? She's asking for a pillow. Her verbal communication all 3 times was pillow. Clearly, none of us have got the right pillow, and she's asked me for it every time. Thoughts? What do you think this is down here? Do you think this is some kind of little Yeti? Feels different than a sticker that is normally on a cup, and there were no stickers on the cup. But then I turned it over, and there's this, you know, the thing that you scan. I feel like there's some kind of Yeti community out there. This first Yeti I've had, which is kind of sad slightly. I'll be honest. Tom said, I want a Yeti. He wants one of them big ones that you take to work and it keeps the ice forever. He said, I've been wanting a Yeti. And I was like, well, let's get you one, you know. If you want one, let's get one. So we start looking at him. He goes, man, I didn't realize they were like $50 for a Yeti. For the, you know, he wants the big one with the handle. He really wants it this indigo blue color. He's not really on black. And of course, it would be at work, so you want it darker. And indigo blue seems to be our color anyways. So we're looking at him. And he's like, yeah, let's just hold off. Well, he comes home with me a Yeti because I was like, oh, I wanted a Yeti for a while. I want one of those little coffee cups. You know, so if I'm outside or, you know, at work or whatever, it'll keep my coffee warm. So I got the Yeti and he hadn't got a Yeti. So I go on Instagram, Amazon yesterday, and he was like, no. He said, the one I have is fine. It's working out fine. It's keeping my water cold. Let's not spend the money. And so I didn't, but I feel slightly bad about him asking for the Yeti, and I got a Yeti. I should have made it so that you could see all my flowers I planted while we were talking. I wonder if you could if I sat over there. Oh, ow, ooh, ow. Oh, the Gina's old. The Gina's old. Can you see me? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I should have been sitting over here so you could have seen my plants. Yeah, that would have been prettier. Sorry. What else did I do this week? I guess we're just doing this video. I shampooed my rugs, all the rugs in my living room and my hallway. Haven't done the bedrooms yet. Got my shampooer out. Got a little bit of footage of that. So, because I needed to get into something else, I am cleaning my carpets today. My little doggy wasn't feeling well and he took a little sickness out on my carpet. Ew. So, and it needs it anyways, so I'm gonna see what I can do about cleaning these carpets. I don't have one clue what I'm doing. Never used this before. It's not new. So we're gonna see, you can see those two little spots where he, well, three little spots actually, where he, yeah, he puked on my carpet. I don't even know how to turn it on. Okay, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. It's not even wet at all. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I was just really getting the carpet wet, and it's not even wet at all. I put water in it.
In where?
In the bladder thing.
The big tank. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you're shampooing, are you pulling the red handle?
What red handle?
If you the red button thing underneath the hand where you hold on to the thing.
That's not red. First of all, it's gray.
Okay.
And yes, I thought that was how you dispense the water.
It is.
Okay, well, it's not dispensing any water.
Okie dokie.
So, and then when you didn't push that, that would suck it back up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I do know what, see people, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's not working. So,
You got both switches on?
I have a heat and power, and it's on, you know, of course, whenever I turn it on, I have it on heavy traffic, and I have it on floor clean.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do because it's not wet at all. Like, it's not dispensing water when I push the button.
Well, if you turn it on, one way you can check is if you turn it on and tip the whole machine back where the front head comes off the ground, and you spray, sometimes you can
kind of see it. All right, let me try that. And if not, I guess I'm I'm going to have to call it a fail and wait on you.
All
Which
right.
is going to tick me off because I'm already doing it.
Yeah.
All right, and Cooper wants out. He's done. He's made his mess.
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Still feel like I've added coffee to this twice. There's too much sugar in it. It could be that maybe this is a smaller coffee cup. I went to work 2 days in the building last week. Went to the grocery store. Honestly, that is about all I did. We had a very short and non-productive week. I told you I had the emotional days. I had a couple of really under the weathery type days of spending a lot of time going back and forth to the bathroom. I think that that is expected when you make a big change like we've done. And I feel that my body is really telling me when I fuel it correctly, I have a lot more energy. I feel healthier for a time, and then I don't feel good. So I feel I'm learning you have to eat more often when you're eating organic, natural foods. There's one of my littles. That's Carter's hand. Lyric's hand is right there in the pink. My little babies. I got 10 fruits and vegetables in on Monday. I literally thought I could explode. I was so full. Tom was like, why are you doing that to yourself? I said, I joined a challenge. He said, why do you do that to yourself? You do that all the time. I was like, I don't know, but it sounded like a good plan. And I lost so much weight that first day. So I think I'm going to do exactly that same thing again today. It was carrots, potatoes, broccoli. I think I had 3 fruits and 7 vegetables that day. I do better when I have vegetables versus fruits. But that particular day, on the 1st of June, I went to bed so full I could not move. And I woke up the next day stuffed. Still stuffed. Until, your body kind of says, whoa, okay, you're feeding me. Let's start working correctly. I'll be honest, those first couple of days were very uncomfortable for me. There's no room for anything else. If you're really going to get 10 fruits and vegetables in, I really struggled with getting pretty much anything else in. I think I can contribute not losing yesterday to I didn't really have a lot. I had a cup of strawberries, a banana, tiny bit of onion, bell pepper, and salsa in a fajita. I made chicken fajitas on a wellness wrap. So the only thing in that was 1 point for the wellness wrap. Everything else I think I ate yesterday was 0. So I'm not getting any points in. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I ate. Oh, yes. In the middle of the day, I got more points because I had, when you go to the store and you buy a fresh made French bread loaf, I made me a sandwich that was maybe between 1/4 and 1/2 and an inch thick of chicken breast. So I have to count that bread. So even if I counted it at 5, I would be at 6 points for the day plus my coffee. So I doubt I made 10 points yesterday. I think on purple you can have 16, so I was definitely under, plus all your weeklies that I haven't been eating. But I'm okay. I mean, I'm enjoying the process. I'm not quitting. I will tell you, you go through a lot of fruits and vegetables, so don't buy a bunch of junk and spend your money elsewhere if you're going to do this, because you have to keep rebuying it. I mean, my refrigerator was ridiculously full, and I'm over halfway through it, and I did that on Thursday or Friday, I went to the grocery store Thursday, and it's only Monday, and it's nearly gone. And I'm going to cook the rest of the vegetables today, which is going to be broccoli. I'm going to do it all in the Instant Pot. You do not put the broccoli in at the beginning because it will be mush. I just kind of put the broccoli in there when everything else is cooked, and I have it on keep warm for about 30 minutes, and it will cook your broccoli just fine. Well, I have some greens. I still have enough to make 1 or 2 more salads. Me and salads aren't really that friendly, which I'm going to finish it all up before I go to the grocery store. And then, of course, we have our pickled vegetable, which is all cucumber, celery, carrot, tomato, onion in vinegar. But the pickled vegetables, I feel like I lost better when I was incorporating at least a cup of that in my diet. I didn't really have that yesterday and the day before. I'm missing it. I'm going to make sure that I add that, if not to every meal, most of my meals. So all in all, I had a really good week. I had a really good loss. I'm pleased with the outcome. I cannot do heavy starches. I gained weight. And I'm fine with that. I'm really enjoying the vegetables. We did have tacos on Saturday, but you know how you get the little hamburger patties cut out at Costco, so they're not little, they're massive. Tom and I use that as our meat. Like, we're not gonna add 2. If we make tacos, that's what we use for the taco meat. And then if he's really hungry, I will open a can of fat-free refried beans, because I believe they're still 0. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do it all over again this week. And if I lose a pound or 2 in a week, I'm thrilled. Now we're just gonna play it out, see how it works, and at the end of the month, how as a whole how it worked out. But yeah, really enjoying this process so far. Who knew? Eat till you're stuffed. Make sure it's fruits and vegetables. Hope you all have a good week. Bye-bye. God bless.